How do you relearn trust? Because honestly, that's the core struggle I face. It's a simple question. I like that it's direct and straight to the point. How do you relearn trust?
You want to take it first?
No.
No?
It's a tough one.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I think the first part of it, I guess I will take it first.
There you go.
I think the first part of it is you have to, like, how do I relearn trust? You have to go back and see all the ways that trust was affected over the course of your life, right? Because you have an idea of what trust is that was shaped based off of the experiences where trust was damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So if trust is this beautiful thing that makes you feel safe in the world because you trust somebody, right? With trust comes vulnerability and opening up and love. And so we have a definition of what trust is to us based off of those experiences where it was influenced and shaped, both in negative and positive ways, of course, but oftentimes we're only focused on the positive ways and the ways that trust was broken for us. So we have to go back and sit with those parts. And in doing so, this is a beautiful metaphor because I can see like trust written out in a sculpture in front of me, right? And over the course of my life, that sculpture was like shaped and molded, and sometimes it was cracked and it was hammered, and slowly trust started to decay and fall apart. And it was almost gone. And then slowly I had to go back and look and see where all that damage had occurred and how it was hurt and how it was injured and where it was, held together in some points, but over time, just the ways that it was developed. And in doing so, I feel through the experience of the pain of all of that distrust and all of that suffering. But then I also can start to rebuild what trust means to me today. So I think that's what they need to do, right? Get really curious about how trust was taken away and how it was influenced and shaped. Mm-hmm. And that's how you learn to recreate it. And that's actually how you learn to redefine it, what trust now means to you. Not what it has meant and what it used to mean, but what does it mean to you now? And how can you hold things in your life and create relationships in your life that are going to enhance that definition of trust within you, as opposed to hurt it and destroy it and over time break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Anything else you want to add to it?
I do. Definitely start there. Like, that's like, where do we begin? Right there. I think the next step would be to find ways to rebuild trust within yourself, like trusting yourself, not like trusting others, but find ways to rebuild the trust that you lost in yourself, where you have went against what you knew, or like, because maybe you as a little child, you didn't have any other option than to go, like, to do what you knew you shouldn't do, or other things because you were being forced in all kinds of different ways. That those, like, and you get to see that when you're reflecting back with how you said you need to go back and start to see all the ways that trust was broken, violation occurred. So when you're seeing that and acknowledging that trust was broke, but you can rebuild it with yourself, and starting small with little things that you do for you, little promises that you can keep to yourself, and not big promises, and not 50 small ones, one small promise that you can keep to yourself every day, and start to really show up for yourself in that way, whether it's, doing the simplest way to say is like, maybe make your bed every morning, and it doesn't have to be perfect, no military corners, just like you pull your comforter up, like that counts, just something small. Maybe you're going to like implement flossing your teeth every night. Maybe you're going to implement drinking a glass of water before you have your coffee, before you start your day. Maybe you're going to implement wiping off your bathroom counter at the end of every shower, your mirror. Just, it's something, those are just ideas. Like, just the point is to keep it super, super small so it's obtainable and not shaming yourself for it. And that as you start to keep that and you show up for yourself, you're going to start to realize you can rely on yourself and you can trust yourself. And then have to look at your relationship with trust, what your expectations of trust is, and let go of the expectation that trust equals permanence, and that nothing is permanent and everything changes. And something may change, and that's not a break of trust. We change, we grow, things happen. and being able to move with the flow of life and not feel like it means that you couldn't trust. And that's really big and that's really hard. But those are some of the steps that get you there. And that trust not equaling permanence, honestly, is just one that I just figured out like right now. So it's a journey and it takes a long time, and I have to, that's my next step, is realizing that and figuring out how to sit with that trust does not equal permanence.